All right, so if you're getting ready for your GCSEs, you know that getting your head around Act 1 of Macbeth is absolutely crucial. This is where it all kicks off, all the ambition, the betrayal, and the tragedy. So let's dive in and figure out how on earth Shakespeare takes a celebrated hero and turns him into a would-be murderer.
Okay, here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll look at the prophecy that gets the whole dangerous idea started. Then, we'll see how a simple reward from the king just adds fuel to the fire. After that, we'll meet the person who gives him that final, fatal push. And we'll finish with the chilling murder plot itself.
Right, we're kicking things off with maybe the most important line in the whole play, coming straight from the witches. And you know, this isn't just some spooky phrase to set the mood. It's basically the tagline for the entire story. It's a huge warning sign that Shakespeare is giving us from the get-go. Don't trust what you see, because in this world, nothing is what it seems.
So let's get into it. How does a guy who's basically a national hero even start to think about committing murder? Well, it all kicks off on this spooky, stormy heath with a prophecy that plants a very dangerous seed in his mind.
Now, this is so important to remember. Before Shakespeare shows us a villain, he makes sure we see Macbeth as a total hero. He's called Brave Macbeth, and he's praised for being brutally effective in battle. But here's the key. At this point, all his violence is for the king. It's sanctioned. It's heroic.
And then he bumps into the three weird sisters. And they're smart. They start with something they know is true. They greet him with his current title. It's a clever trick, right? It gets him to stop and actually listen to what they have to say.
Okay, so they've got his attention. Then they drop the next one, a title he doesn't have, yet. And this is the real hook. They've just predicted a major promotion for him. Suddenly, Macbeth is leaning in. He is really listening now.
And boom, there it is, the big one, the line that changes everything. The witches have just planted this tiny, poisonous seed of an idea in his head. The idea that he could be king. And for Macbeth, it's going to grow into a deadly obsession.
But what about his friend Banquo? He is not dying it. He is way more skeptical. He's basically saying, hey, hold on a second. Sometimes evil forces tell us a little bit of truth just to trick us into destroying ourselves. And this is a massive moment for your essays, by the way. It shows the huge difference between them. Banquo sees a trap, Macbeth only sees the prize. All right, so that dangerous seed has been planted. Now it just needs a little bit of water to start growing, right? Let's look at how a simple reward from the king is the very thing that helps this new dark ambition take root. And what do you know? The second prophecy comes true like almost immediately. The old Thane of Cawdor was a traitor, so King Duncan gives his title to Macbeth as a thank you for being so brave in battle. Just imagine what's going through Macbeth's head right now. This proves it. The witches are legit.
And you can literally see his mind racing right here. He's thinking, this can't be bad because something good is happening, but it can't be good either because it's already making me think about horrible things. It's like his ambition and his conscience are having their first major fight, and we get a front row seat.
So Macbeth is thinking, maybe this will all just happen on its own. But then Duncan throws a massive spanner in the works. He officially names his own son, Malcolm, as the next in line for the throne. Now, for Macbeth, this is a huge problem. It means he can't just sit back and let fate do the work. There's now an obstacle in his way.
And this line, this is the moment the mask truly slips. He says this in an aside, just to himself, so only we can hear it. He's literally asking the heavens to go dark so no one can see the terrible thoughts brewing inside him. The brave Macbeth from the beginning of the act, he's fading fast. He's actively embracing the darkness now.
So Macbeth has the ambition, but he's still hesitating. He needs a push. And that push has a name. Lady Macbeth.
So she gets this letter from her husband telling her everything about the witches, and her mind just goes into overdrive. Her first thought isn't, wow, this is amazing. It's, oh no, my husband is too nice to do what needs to be done. She worries he's too full of what she calls the milk of human kindness to seize the crown. To her, his goodness is a weakness. So what's she going to do about it? Well, this line is incredible. She basically says, get home right now so I can pour my evil spirit into your ear. It's like she wants to perform a kind of psychological transplant, take out his conscience and replace it with her own ruthless ambition.
And here is her master plan, summed up in one perfect deadly image. Remember the witch's fair is foul? Well, this is the practical application of that idea. She's telling him to look harmless and welcoming on the outside, while secretly being the snake ready to strike. This is their entire game plan.
All right, things are moving fast. The ambition is there, the persuasion is working, and now we get to the actual plan. This is where it all gets terrifyingly real.
But just when you think he's all in, he gets a moment alone and the doubts come flooding back. He gives this big speech, just to himself, listing all the reasons why this is a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, Duncan is his family, his king, and his guest. He's supposed to protect him. And for a second, it really looks like his conscience is going to win.
So he finds his nerve and tells his wife, nope, we're not doing it. And her reaction? Oh boy. She just completely demolishes him. It's a brutal, calculated attack. She hits him where it hurts most. She questions his love, his courage, and his very manhood. She calls him a coward. And for a warrior like Macbeth, that's the worst thing anyone could say.
And it works. She breaks him down, and then she builds him back up with this one powerful line. She's basically saying, just be brave enough, and we can't possibly fail. It's that absolute confidence from her that finally steals his resolve. She is completely in control in this moment. And just like that, the argument is over. Macbeth is in. She's not only giving him the motivation, she's given him a step-by-step plan. Get the guards drunk, use their own daggers, and then frame them for the crime. So as Act 1 comes to a close, the decision has been made. There is no turning back. They're going to kill the king.
So what's the big takeaway here? The question you have to be ready for in your exam. It all comes down to this. What is really driving Macbeth? Is it his own dark ambition, a part of him that was just waiting for an excuse to come out? Or is he really just a puppet, being manipulated by the witches and especially by his wife? That's the huge question Act 1 leaves us with, and the answer is the key to the entire play.